Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Team Never Quit podcast. As always, thank you guys for listening and watching, and please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button wherever you're getting this show. So today, before we get to our special guests, let's kick it off with our weekly Patreon question. And this week we have got, if you could fly anywhere in the world for dinner tonight, where are you going?
Marcus is the dinner guy.
Yeah, Amsterdam. Amsterdam.
Those are some good spots right there.
There's 3 that we go to that I'd fly to hit. And then that restaurant in Japan that we can never figure out.
I know, we can't remember the name of it. In Tokyo. So there was a steakhouse that was
both of them are steakhouses.
Yeah.
If I had to fly there.
There's one in the States, though, in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay. Yeah, Mertz Soul Food Restaurant.
Love it.
I mean, you want to go right now?
Absolutely.
I'd fly right now to go eat there.
My pick was going to be Mary's Cafe in Strawn, get a chicken fried steak.
Best atmosphere is great. As soon as you walk in there, Mertz is what it's called. Yeah. And I found it on a whimsical, man, just walking around in downtown. Anytime I happen to be flying through there or for any event, I make sure I put a front and back end hour just so I can go eat there.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would have to be the top, Mertz.
Mm-hmm.
And although, man, we had a great steak at that hotel in Dallas the other day.
Oh, the Fairmont.
At the Fairmont.
Yeah.
Really? If you're ever in Dallas, go to the Fairmont and get a steak.
Solid.
Oh, hidden gold mine. we both sitting backstage, man. They kind of, this lady comes walking up and she's like, "You guys look hungry. I bet you could use a steak." I mean, I'd speak in my language right there. And I was just like, "All right, sister, bring it on." And she did. And it was whipped potatoes, a piece of broccoli, and that freaking steak, man. And it was really good. I mean, great. It was great. Fairmont. Yeah. Couldn't believe it.
Check that out.
Sorry I missed y'all at that.
Yeah, you were there at the Navy SEAL Foundation dinner.
Well, no, I was supposed to be.
Oh,
I had an opportunity to promote the foundation at another event with some American Airlines pilots called 100 Vets Who Give a Damn.
Oh, nice.
Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, they're all retired pilots, and they gave me an opportunity to speak in front of them and make a little money for the foundation.
I like it.
Still promote it. So I chosen to go do that. Over that event, I went to it last year. That was right after Gage's ceremonies were all over with. So we went last year, and this year they invited me to it, but they didn't tell me what all they were doing. I'm kind of mad I wasn't there. So.
Oh.
That was a good one.
But I had to take an opportunity to promote, so I did.
Yeah, of course.
Glad I did.
What about you?
My favorite restaurant? This is not a fancy restaurant by any means in the world, but to me it's like it feels like home is in Cottonport, Louisiana. There's a tiny little restaurant called Bernard's
So good.
Seafood. And every time we go see my grandma, I get the fried shrimp platter, and it's just
for every meal.
Yeah, and I might eat like the hush puppies just for a meal too. It just reminds me of my family.
It's hometown cooking.
Yeah,
Like when you walk in there, it's
a tiny, itsy bitsy, teeny weeny little place.
Those are the best.
And it's consistent. You always have good fried shrimp, no matter when you go. And yeah, that mine has to be Bernard's in Cottonport, Louisiana.
What about you, brother?
Man,
you're still young, so give us some time, right?
Still young, yes, sir. Man, probably Chipotle. I love me some
What?
Chipotle. Yeah,
You don't have to fly there, bro. We got one right down the road, man.
Drive down the road.
We can drive really fast, but we're not going to fly.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, a place that comes to mind, actually wouldn't have to fly there either, but George's in Waco. I don't know if y'all have ever been up there. It's great. Yeah, it's kind of a mom and pop.
Kitchen field? Oh, nice. Yeah, it's favorite.
Old school. They've got 2 locations, one in Hewitt, which is just the town over, but it's solid. Chicken fried steak and all kinds of good stuff. So
we're driving back that way, you know.
Yeah, we could stop by.
If we weren't, we are now.
Right, yeah. Come on, let's go.
Sweet.
All right, what about you, boss?
Like I said, I was thinking
Oh, the Mary's.
Mary's and Strawn, best chicken fried steak in the world. I don't know. I'm a foodie guy.
Yeah.
I will try anything anywhere, especially the no-name back alleys. Just
those are the best.
Let me try it.
Yeah. That's awesome. Hunter, you're our world traveler. You've been more places than any of us.
Yeah, well, I've got two. One crazy destination that I loved was the Beef Bar in Santorini.
That was really good.
Great sunsets over there too, beautiful views. And
that was really good.
That was actually really, really good. They had like a corn side dish that was like a corn elote that was so good.
Yeah,
and it's called the Beef Bar.
Yeah.
I mean, you're walking into something good when that thing advertises.
And side note, we were mad at Hunter for picking it because we thought it was too far of a walk, and we had just gotten there and we were tired and we just wanted to put our bags down and lay in bed and eat.
It was an 11-minute walk.
It was
when you say it like that, I feel like a
Santorini is really steep up and down like a goat.
That explains.
So, and we had like 12 of us. So it was a lot of kids. It was just a lot. We're like, Hunter, where are you taking us? But once we sat down and ate, it was actually really good. And I apologized for complaining.
It was worth the walk.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was, yeah.
It's worth flying over there.
Yeah.
To eat there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the way that mountain's set up, man, or the island, excuse me.
Yeah.
How everything, this the way it feels.
It was really good.
And food overseas is twice as good as ours.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Probably 3 to 4 times better, actually, and better for you.
Yeah.
Even their junk food's better for you than our healthy food.
Right.
So,
What's the other one?
The other one, if you are driving from Texas to Louisiana or vice versa, you stop at Billy's Boudin. Oh, that is something else right there.
Where's Billy's Boudin?
It's right off of I-10 in Louisiana.
Not Scott's.
No,
Everybody likes Scott's.
Billy's doesn't want to go to.
that's Scott's brother, Billy.
That's his competitor, his cousin.
Now I'm getting hungry now talking
I
about
was
this.
just telling him, I said, man, I could use a snack before I get in there.
Right, yeah.
Stop at the only donut shop that doesn't have donuts down the street.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Hey, we got a mom and pop down the road called Miss Kitty's.
Okay.
And I go there every Friday and then periodically throughout the week. They got one of those great cheeseburgers that when you bite into it, it bleeds down your arm, kind of
Greasy.
juice.
Love it.
Yeah, all that.
Love it.
And home cooking. When you walk in there, it smells like it, feels like it.
all I
It's great. Yeah.
Love that.
All right.
You
Good
can bacon on everything.
Patreon question.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a good question, actually.
It was.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started. Thank you for coming out here.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. Thank you too, brother. So the way we like to do this to introduce you to the team and everybody is get a little backstory on where you're from. So tell me, where'd you guys come out of?
Well, I'm from Quanah, Texas, out on the southeastern end.
Tell us what that is.
Quanah?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Quanah, America. It's not the edge of the world, but you can see it from there. Quanah is a town of about 2,200 people. It's right on the Oklahoma border, I would say, right between Dallas and Amarillo.
Mm.
So flat farm country out there. And maybe you've heard it before. It's flat enough to see your dog run away for 2 days if you want to. Beautiful sunsets. Just raised a farm boy. My dad was sheriff all my life. Brother's county judge there. I'm one of 10 kids in that town. I just grew up on farming all my life and working in a cafe kind of fit that question.
Yeah.
Became a foodie that way. Had a granny that had a cafe, and I started washing dishes at 5, and
I love
I
that.
hadn't stopped working since that day. So, went on a lot of wheat harvest every summer, and
I was going to ask you what kind of farm is that up there?
Mhm.
cotton and wheat most of all.
Yeah, Chuck.
Peanuts got incorporated way back before I left there, but we were trying to bring peanuts into the area. Sandy land on the north end of the county, tight land on the south end, so it depends on what your crop is at that point in time. But good hunting. Back when I was growing up, I moved to the big city, did everything I could when I was 20, 21 to get to the big city and get those opportunities, and got here and realized that I'd taken for granted everything that everybody who lives in the city wants.
Mhm.
Hunting, fishing. I drove a tractor all the time. I was looking for air conditioning my entire life. So, getting back out there, spent all my life getting to the big city. Now I'm spending the rest of it getting back. So,
Mhm.
there's a lot of that. We can talk about it later about what we're looking to do in that area. But yeah, moved to the big city. Had what I thought was a really important job.
What was it?
I went to work for a tax management company,
Mm.
and I did appeal hearings with the
Mm.
Texas Workforce Commission. So I kind of argued for a living.
Okay.
So did that. I got married, had my oldest daughter, JC, and then Gage came along. Then I became a house dad.
That's a great job, actually.
One of the toughest I've ever had.
It's a great job. I got to pull that duty for a little while. It's not bad.
One of the toughest I ever had. I tell people all the time, I said, don't take that lightly. Your life is dictated by what that little fella wants,
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's the toughest job I ever had. And then just started working my way into other jobs. Home Depot was a big deal back in 1,000 years ago when I was in that age. And I thought, man, I'm going to live and die right there. So I'm going to go work there. I did for a while. And then I graduated into, through a friend of mine, into global logistics. So for about the last 30 years, I've been involved in international air freight, global logistics, still am to this day.
Oh, wow. Oh.
In Fort Worth.
What about you, brother? Where are you from?
So I grew up in Trophy Club, Texas, which kind of opposite of Chet. It's just the suburbs. So was very, very blessed at a young age to live in a pretty safe and great town. And yeah, met Gage in kindergarten, actually. So we kind of grew up going to elementary school for a few years, and then I changed schools, came back, and middle school, high school together. And yeah, I went to college, came back, and
Where'd you go to school?
So I actually went to a JUCO in Waco.
All right.
Played golf there for 2 years, and then
Okay.
Went to a school in Augusta, Georgia for 2 years after that, and then
You play golf there?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, it was a good spot to play.
Big golf family here.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
I was telling him, I said, he's working on his cue card right now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Good for
Yeah.
you, man.
Thank
And
you.
our daughter's on the golf team.
Is she
She's
really?
I wanted to be a
in
pro
7th
golfer
grade.
so bad.
Really?
Oh, I make it every time she comes home from school, I make her hit.
Yeah, come on.
And then we're talking about putting a simulator in the barn.
That's handy right there, especially those winter months when it's cold and windy. It's good.
Man,
to
I
get
wish
in
we
there.
had you for a couple of days because we got Blue Jack right down the road.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Tiger's course.
Yeah,
I've
and
never
Houston
been
Oaks is the opposite direction.
Man, you go out there. pretty
Sure
often?
do.
Wow.
We go out to both.
Yeah, to both.
Come on. Yeah, I've heard Blue Jack's great.
Bro, I'm pushing that. I'm
Holler at
pushing
Hayden.
golf and bowling. Everyone in the family should be able to do those two sports, man.
Yeah.
And golf especially because the scenery is beautiful. No one's trying to kill you.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? And you can go out and play till you're old.
Yeah.
And you can do it on vacation.
And vacation.
Vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's therapeutic in a way. I mean,
It
it's,
is, man.
It's
I mean, it's frustrating both, right? It's
right.
kinda-
Yeah. It's
It
both
can
of
create a
them.
stress point. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't get frustrating until you get good.
So, yeah,
That's the weird
exactly. Then you bite off more than you can chew, and it can be kind of irritating, but it's great.
And little plug, we love our PXG golf clubs. We
Yeah, man. See, I didn't have to become a professional golfer to get sponsored, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's other ways to do it, man.
we
Yeah.
got some
So
great.
we're all swinging the PXGs over here. What are you hitting?
So I've got some Mira irons and then Ping Woods.
You should go to PXG. They're the best.
Yeah.
They're developed
I've
by a
heard
Marine.
Nothing. Yeah. Bob Parsons, right?
Yeah.
He's big.
How about that guy?
Yeah. He's
To get out and reinvent golf.
pretty crazy. And a lot of tour guys play it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of big time schools play it. I know Oklahoma is
Right.
sponsored by him and some other schools. So yeah, he's done really well for setting that whole thing up. It's been pretty
It's
impressive.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
A couple of those guys getting out and doing reinventing coffee. We got coffee guys and golf. I mean, stuff you never think that you could step into,
Yeah.
but just did and got it done, man.
Love that.
Speaking of golf, we are going. Where are we going? Where we're shipping our clubs?
Lake Tahoe.
Oh, to Lake Tahoe
Oh.
to the Matt Axelson golf tournament.
Cool.
So this summer is the 20th anniversary of
Mhm.
Operation Red Wing. A lot of different events going on this summer. The Danny Dietz Memorial. It's like a rodeo thing in Decatur is coming up.
I'll see you there.
Yeah, on
I live 20
Friday.
minutes from it.
we'll
I'll
be
be there
there.
with you.
We'll be there Friday. But another one is the Matt Axelson golf tournament, which has been going on for years. That was actually one of our first dates, first couple of months. But anyway, that's going to be near Lake Tahoe in Genoa, Nevada. And we're shipping our golf clubs with what? What's it called?
Ship sticks.
Yeah, ship
Oh,
sticks.
yeah.
Yeah. So another sponsor.
They got something for everything now, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No kidding.
I know.
All right. So tell me about, you got any,
Tell us about your son. Yeah.
And do you have history of military in your family?
I do.
All right.
Yeah. But while we're on golf, October
Uh-huh.
6th, 8th Gage Ingram Golf Classic, Trophy Club, Texas.
Oh,
Yeah.
Please,
Come on out.
please
oh,
join us.
for Gages for the foundation.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the first event we ever had. That was
All right. Say the date again.
Yeah. Say that again.
October 6th in Trophy Club, Texas.
What's the golf? How do they sign up? Website?
So yeah, it'll be on the website. I'm terrible about keeping up with that. I'm kind of a one-man show
Okay.
right now, but I know a lot of smart people. So,
Okay. We'll plug
but
it.
it's on the web page right now. We're about to fire that up. I was waiting for a lot of things going on Memorial Day.
Mhm.
Maybe Danny
Yeah.
Bates thing, Ross Pro's event, all kinds of stuff that we're speaking at and whatnot. But as soon as that's done and over with, and we can focus on go ahead and get this thing sponsored and moved on, you'll be ready to sign up. We'd love to have anybody and everybody come out and honor. And a lot of the boys want to play in it. Played in it last year, so we'll take care of it.
And October is a good time for a
Yeah.
golf tournament in Texas.
Great time,
Definitely.
actually.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I mean,
couldn't have happened any better. Last year
best.
was Gage's granddad, who's named after it. It was his birthday. We did that, so
Aw.
it was ironic that it happened that way. But it had a great time. It was a
I
lot of
love
work, and man,
that.
it paid off well.
Yeah, they're fun.
It helped us out a lot.
That's awesome.
But
Yeah, tell us about Gage.
Gage. I mean, where do you start? Like I said, a year ago, I couldn't even look at a picture. Couldn't even talk about Gage. Out in West Texas, me and a group of my friends, and I'm that dad that when the kids are 4 years old and they're looking for a soccer coach, that I volunteered.
Mhm.
So I'm still coaching to this day.
Oh my gosh.
I teach biomechanics and fast pitch softball. Do a little college recruiting for girls, and long story there, but still doing that. Coached Gage through every sport that he played except for basketball. We were just joking about that. I said, that's the one thing that I will step up to the front and say, nah, no talent whatsoever. I was put in to foul out and get the ball back. Did a good job, right?
That's a role.
Yeah.
I mean,
So Coach Gage through all of that, and Gage was small. He wasn't very big growing up. Didn't start growing until senior year, right?
Yeah.
Height wise and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely.
But he was good. They played basketball, and because of his being vertically challenged, he loved basketball, and just I didn't see the two fitting. But man, his heart said, "I'm playing basketball." And Ryan and all the buddies would always play this game outside of the 3-point line. You couldn't shoot inside of it. So when you saw him playing basketball in junior high or whatever, in JV, if he could get you inside that 3-point line, he'd be waiting for you at the other end.
mm.
Same way with a lot of his friends. They just played that game and it was a benefit. Never heard of it, but they were creative. But yeah, had a lot of heart. Played football. Still the smallest guy in the world, but believe me, he would, as a cornerback, he would fight you for that ball. He'd wait till you jumped and he'd time his jump with yours, and then he'd deflect or intercept. He was good.
Aw.
Soccer.
Oh yeah.
I'm from West Texas. We played football and we farmed.
That's it.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Didn't know what that thing was, but I thought, you know what, let's go. Let's play. So we just watched, observed, found the angles, and keywords was kick, kick, kick. I was playing money ball. We kicked 5 times more than the other team does. The average is that we made something with. We were pretty successful, but Gage was a little phenom at that age. He really was. But again, he didn't start growing till junior, senior year in high school, and then he just kept growing. Went off to Texas Tech on the 5-year program.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Got to have that,
Especially up there being a Red Raider.
Yeah,
That's a great university.
Wreckham, yeah. But yeah, he went out there and participated in all the intramural sports they could. Delivered a few pizzas along the way.
That town's great too.
Oh, I love it.
Man, that town, that town, that university. You got to be lost or wanting to go there to get there because of where it's located.
Yeah.
But it's something.
When you're there, I always wondered why there were so many people from the Metroplex that went out there. It turns out it's one of the furthest places you can get from your parents. It's still
That's it.
Yes.
state tuition, right?
They had a lot of fun out there.
Yeah.
You can have a lot of fun at Tech.
But growing out there, that was one of the deals. You know, grandparents went to school there, and it was just always going to be something we wanted to do it, or he wanted to do it, and got him there. And he graduated 2019 in August 2019, and then he went into this little thing called the Navy in September 25th. But in
So
between,
what year did he start there?
in Buzz or Tech?
In at Tech.
2014.
There you
2014.
go.
So that's when you
Coach
were
Leach
there.
was there.
Oh yeah,
Marcus did
Yeah.
they had in
I
2014,
was up there a lot during those years.
2014 they did a Lone Survivor Bowl.
mm-hmm.
And
That's when the sponsorship came out with Under
yeah,
Armour.
they
I still got my
had-
helmet up at the-
yeah,
at the
they had
house.
all the gear, the football uniforms
Mhm.
it was really cool. We were there for that game. That
Yeah.
was a really
Under
cool
Armour
game.
was a big sponsor.
Yeah, Benny Wiley was a
Mhm.
strength coach there, man. We grew up together.
Mhm.
All right.
And he would bring me up there all the time. Or I'd go up there to see him, and we'd just hang out at the field with all the guys. It's kind of actually when I got into the speaking world. Started up there.
Yeah. At Texas Tech.
Yeah. It was Bobby Knight
Oh,
was that got me doing that. He started my career in this.
Really?
If you believe that. I was wanting to go to medical school, and he got me in, and he's like, I got you in med school at Texas Tech. It's fine. I got you an apartment over here. I mean, this guy, dude, he grabbed me around the neck. He's like, come here. I got you. He's like, you're going to go to school here. I'm not having it any other way. I mean, I was just big because, you know.
I don't get it. He was such a docile.
Yeah, such a low-key dude, right?
Right.
For a chair.
And just walking me around. He's like, it's going to be great. He goes, you should learn how, you should talk for a living. And so I started, and they brought me in to talk to the teams.
Yeah.
I started right there at Tech. That's where I kind of got my first education.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a
Hell,
connection.
I hadn't thought about that in a while. That's where it started with Benny and Bobby Knight and Coach Leach.
The pirate.
Yep.
I miss that guy. Really do that. Oh,
I was wondering if Gage was there that year that they did the Lone Survivor Bowl. That's cool that he would have been there.
So how did he get interested in the Navy?
he was watching this movie one night at his house.
It was a different guy's house, but I was there. Yeah.
In Trophy Club, and he watched this movie, and he decided he was going to go for a 4-mile run in the ice. Came back, says, guys, I'm going to be a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
I'll let you guess what movie it was.
Yeah. Yeah. It was probably 2 a.m. maybe. We watched it all the time, and it was our favorite movie. And
well, which one?
Lone Survivor.
Was it really Lone Survivor?
Yeah,
oh my
Lone
gosh.
Survivor,
Okay.
I told him, I said, how are we going to
there's so
segue into
many.
that without just,
That was
you know,
like,
just,
especially senior year of high school. I think it came on the end of my junior year maybe, but our senior year, that's all we talked about. Like go to the gym, play the soundtrack, everything. And
He's got a good soundtrack.
yeah, oh, it was great. And we were just watching it one night, and school was canceled maybe because it iced over or whatever. 2 a.m. He just gets up, starts walking off. I look at the other guy. I'm like, what is he doing? And keep in mind at the time, as Chet alluded to earlier, Gage is like 5'9", 140 pounds, like
soaking wet.
not what you'd think a frogman would look like. And
Which, by the way, there are a lot.
they're all, yeah,
They all look like that.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Learning,
Hey,
yeah.
But
Yeah.
at the time, I didn't know. And he just says, hey, I'm going to go running. I'm just like, what is he talking about? So he takes off running. We actually go and follow him. We're like, what is this guy doing? He runs like 4 miles, like you were saying, comes back, and he looks at us. He's like, I'm going to be a Navy SEAL. I was like, no chance. I was like, no way, but I'll
Let's
support
talk
you.
about this.
Yeah, it's like, no way. But sure enough, he worked crazy hard from that point on through Tech. I mean, I remember I came through Lubbock one summer, and we went and worked out, and we went and snuck onto some track, and we were running, and he was lapping me. And I was like, oh man, this guy, like, but I mean, not like I'm some sort of physical specimen, but I was still like, that's impressive. And I mean, he beefed up, especially once he got deployed. He was huge. And
That happens.
yeah, he's
Deployment size SEALs are completely different than garrison size.
really,
SEALs. You can always tell who's been on it
yeah.
and been out the door.
Oh,
It's when they come back.
in boot camp. That was during the COVID time, so they didn't have the regular food sitting out, but they had peanut butter sandwiches, and I think he ate 3 or 4 of those just waiting in line for chow.
Yeah.
And that Ingram neck showed up pretty quick.
Got a bull neck on him
Or no neck. Yeah. Yeah.
That's all. Yeah, that'll do it. That's what happened. I was a hard gainer too.
But the whole Navy idea, at this point in time in his life, after college, the guy who's taking out the loans to send him to school, that's the last thing he was going to hear, because there's this other way you could have went, right?
Yeah. Right.
So I thought, you know what, little fellow? Anything worth doing, right? If we're going to do it, we're 100%. Don't forget.
And we're overdoing.
Yeah, absolutely. So he, and we were saying that before we even knew what the toast said. So here we go. If we're going to do it, let's go. Let's find a recruiter and let's go down and let's talk to him. You asked about family of military. So my dad was Navy. He was on the USS Bennington. My brother was on the Navy. He was a AB on the Midway.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. And they went on to Enterprise when they retired that.
Yeah, yeah.
Older brother was Army, and younger brother was Army.
Oh, you had it all through the family.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
This guy tried twice, but I was going to go to the college route, see how that went. And I didn't know anything about Pell Grants. I didn't know anything. I was paying my way right out of my pocket. Money from the farm went right to the school, and got to the point where it's hard to afford that. I thought, you know what, I'm going to sit out go make some money, come back, pay for it again. And my stepdad ran a cotton gin in Childress, Texas. And I don't know if you're familiar with the environment of a cotton gin is, but it is nasty. Lint, dust. You wake up every morning, your eyes managed shut.
It was a dirty job.
It's nasty. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this Navy thing. Went to MEPS and went through the entire process just to find out that through X-rays and whatnot, they thought I had asthma. Tried to explain it to a guy from New Jersey what a cotton gin was, and he tried to explain back to me. We didn't understand each other, but I took that and I thought that's a sign. Let's go back to college. So I attempted to do that. Went back to college. They told me to wait 2 years before I tried again. Went to TSTI in Amarillo, and I thought, it's been 2 years. I'm gonna see if I can't hook up with this unit up here and spend 2 weeks in Hawaii every year, be a CB. And went back and tried it. And I've always lived my life to be under reproach, right? Chief Petty Officer in there said, hey, you still get in the Navy, still get in the military, even if you're flat-footed and if you have asthma. And I thought, okay, cool. Then when it asked the question, you ever tried this before? Absolutely, I did. But, I can explain later, this, that, and the other. Went through MEPS again. Just to have the chief call me in there and said, why'd you write that?
Oh, gosh.
Chief, come on. You're not going to. I said, just tear it up and start over. Government document, you can't. So another sign from God. So I didn't get my chance. But Gage more than made up for it for me. So always been, of course, a huge fan, big patriot. I've always told people, I was a fan of this program and that brotherhood that you're a part of way before Gage was a twinkle in my eye. And to have my son achieve that was incredible. So that's when you raise the kiddos, you're the guiding light all your life. But Gage and I had hit that point where the teacher became the student willingly to learn and he's a part of that. And I want to know more about it. I want to know everything there is about it. And to this day, and part of this foundation is all about wanting to be in that, wanting to help. I wasn't finished raising Gage. So I want to be on bonus dad, as my softball girls call me, and see if I can help guys that were the younger guys going in. I know there's expenditures and things that they don't get, and it could be a burden on them and all this stuff. And being one of 10 kids and poor all my life, I didn't know it, right, until I moved to the big city. And I've been lucky enough financially. All I ever asked God for was to be comfortable, never more than I deserved, and He blessed me with that. And through that, I was able to get Gage into college, which I never could do, in JC, and just providing things that he needed, and some of the things they needed when he got to Buds, right? And take, for instance, the boots they were going to run in. Thinking, hey, Dad, they got these boots they run in Coronado, and is there any way we can? I said, absolutely. Find out what they are, what the brand is. Bought them, got them to him. He was able to run in them before he got out there and try them out. Bought a pair of myself. Like house shoes are great, but things like that. And he would cheap out like a college student would. And I said, no, get the best stuff, whatever those guys are. I said, life's on the line as far as I'm concerned. Little fella said, get the stuff, whatever it's going to cost. Let's get it, because we want to be in shape. Maybe when you quit using or you graduate from it, and maybe we can help the next guy in line. And just kind of always thought and drove him in that direction. So. But yeah, you
need to write a book on how to be a great dad.
I know.
It was an honor ever since they were little. So you make that promise, right? It's your job.
Yeah.
So I've only had one job. Got a lot of jobs, but that's the one I took really, really serious, and I'm still doing it. So, part of the foundation is to see if we can't be a bonus dad kind of situation and help out where we're allowed, when we're allowed. But if nothing else, just stay in touch with those boys and keep Gage's legacy alive in the environment. Every time I get a chance to go to Coronado, I am on the next thing smoking.
And the best out there, man.
Yeah, not to mention the weather compared to where I'm from.
I feel like Texans, when we get off the plane in San Diego, Coronado, it's like a home feeling. It's the only other place when I step off the plane, I'm happy to be there.
And somebody left the air on.
Yeah.
Yeah. People say, what's it like out there? Well, it's kind of like the moon. If you're in shade, you're cold. If you're in the sun, you're burning up.
Yeah.
You decide how you vary it that day. So, but no, I love it, and I go out there every chance I get. Anytime I can go out and, met so many people through this whole thing that maybe I eventually would have known, but through folks honoring Gage and want to know a story more about him, I take every opportunity. Now, like I said, a year ago, I couldn't even look at him, couldn't even talk about him. I had the first scholarship I was going to award out in Turkey, Texas, at Bob Wills. We've been going for a lot of years. The Funkles I was mentioning earlier are all the dads of all the kids I used to coach, and they all grew up, got degrees, got married, matured. We didn't. We're still hanging around. And so they're called the Funkles, and we go out to Bob Wills every year, about 20 years running now. And we've been so long, and everybody knew about Gage. You know, everybody was so proud about Gage. And then when that happened, they decided they wanted to name the Bob Wills Scholarship the SO1 Nathan Gage Ingram Scholarship. So the foundation helps fund that every year and offered to a deserving kid from the community. It's a very small area out there in Hall County, Valley, Texas, Valley Patriots. It's one of the primary schools that it covers, and I had an opportunity to go out there and talk to their senior class a while back when we were on the way to Lubbock last November for the Veterans Day game, which I didn't plan it like that, but the president was at Gage's. President Chauvenet was at the Gage's ceremony out in April, out in Coronado.
Oh, wow.
And at Rosecrans. And he said, want to bring the guys out?
Is that where he's at?
Yeah, his marker is.
Yeah, I'll check.
Yeah, that no remains. And oh yeah, it's
never
a
recover.
silver lining. Kristen,
We'll get into that.
They determined it. Yeah. But second he said that, there's a bunch of Red Raiders around him, and we didn't let him leave until we secured a date. And we wanted Deion Sanders in the new conference. So we picked that game, not necessarily thinking about the date, what turned into the Veterans Day game. And then they honored Gage at that game, and the coin they flipped. I got it out in the truck. I'll show it to you, but Gage's picture was on the coin they flipped for that game. So they did that. Kent Hance was former chancellor there. And after this all happened last January, I got a call from Ken Hance. And I've known him from the political platform back when he was in Austin quite a bit. And then he's Texas Tech, and he just called, and he said one of the coolest things, and I don't want to discount anyone else, but I'll tell you off air, but it really impacted me as to how this impacted everyone else. But he gave Gage a lot of props over a lot of folks who'd been at Texas Tech, and he started a $100,000 scholarship in Gage's name.
Oh, wow.
So we're still got that going, still raising funds to make that flood, but it's endowed. So we've awarded it last year to a very deserving individual, and getting ready to award it again this
That's
year.
so
But
cool.
it'll be there forever. So he's on the walkway out at Texas Tech, and they've really embraced Gage. And I'll be honest with you, all Patriots, every vet out there. I didn't realize they were so invested in all that, but it was enormous. And Gage's ceremony that we planned and executed in the rain last February a year ago. Had it out Northwest ISD Stadium there in Roanoke, Trophy Club area. And then it was raining that day, and then we had Gage's reception, so we had to get a bunch of amphibious types on a bus and get them out to Lubbock.
Mhm.
And that was interesting. Foot of snow the next day.
Oh, my gosh.
But everybody was saying, this is just crazy. I said, no, that's Gage. That's Gage's sense of humor. His wife is from Hawaii,
Oh.
and a lot of her relatives were there, and this might have been the first time they were seeing such a thing. So I thought, this is Gage's sense of humor right here. So you got to laugh at it. And, we were looking at him as though he was sitting in the car with us then. He was giving us hell on the way down here.
He married a Hawaiian?
Mhm.
A country boy from Texas got a hold of a Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Jewel, yeah.
He met
You know how hard that is?
Yeah.
That's Gage. He's the guy that would
He
go-
must have spent something because they don't give them up easy.
And Gage
Especially the white boys.
he would sit in a Halle, yeah. He would, he's kind of fellow that he'd see what everybody else is doing, and then if you catch him going the other direction, he'll catch you at the end. I'm going to try this over here. You boys go that way. So,
Well, good for
but
him.
no, he fell in love with Jewel, and they got married. He was married about 5 months.
Has buying a car ever completely stressed you out? I remember looking for mine, and I just kept asking myself, is this even a good deal, or am I about to get played? I just had no clue what was going on. That's when I found Car Gurus, and man, this cleared everything up. Their site breaks it all down. Unbiased deal ratings, price drop alerts, and in-depth reviews, so you actually feel good about what you're getting into. No more going in blind. They've got over 4 million listings. That's more than any other car site in the US. So if the car you want is out there, it's on Car Gurus. And when you're ready, they will connect you with a trusted dealership to keep the whole process so smooth and transparent. It is no wonder why Car Gurus is the #1 most visited car shopping site according to SimilarWeb's traffic data. Go buy or sell your next car today with Car Gurus at cargurus.com. Go to cargurus.com to make sure that your big deal is the best deal. That is cargurus.com. cargurus.com.
And Jewel still working her butt off. And
Is she back on island?
no, she lives in San Diego.
Okay.
Yeah, still lives there, but mom is on the island.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Probably all of them, right?
Majority of them. She's not full Hawaiian. Dad's from Guam, mom's from Japan. She was raised.
That's the splice.
Yeah.
She was raised in Hawaii. So, yeah, no, we were just talking this morning. I was trying to get I said, Ryan's not going to give me the kind of bio I want. So I want a bio from you.
Her name's Jewel?
Jewel. Yeah.
Jewel of the Pacific, huh? Good for him. Good job, Gage.
Yep.
All right, so when did he go through buds?
2019. All right. Graduated November 2019.
Oh, he's a winter.
Shipped out to San
Or
Diego.
summer guys, right? Yeah, all right, check.
Yeah.
Right on.
Shipped out to San Diego November, right afterwards. And
What's the buds class?
sorry.
Do you remember the buds class
Oh,
number?
yeah. 346.
346.
Okay, we just got a text the other day. It's at
Oh, 370?
it's in the 370s now.
Right? Is it 370?
Wow.
So I was out there for Gary's retirement.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
went? Yeah.
So I went to class 366s.
The 36s?
Yeah.
All right,
366 is graduation class.
Okay.
And then Brad's retirement was on the same grinder just an hour later.
Okay.
And so 372 was out there working around.
Yeah. One of our friends' sons is in 370 right now.
Yeah, I talked to a kid last night who was in second phase. He said he had Dragger Hell Week coming up.
Yeah.
If there's any advice, all I've said was it sucks. It's like, hey, it's just one of the deals. You got to get through that, man.
You'll be fine, son.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it.
If not, they must have changed it since I was there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But no, yeah. 346. Brad Geary was one who
Yeah.
pinned him. Their other favorite movie was their Act of Valor, and so
Yep.
Which came out at the same time. It was like
So,
a year before
Right,
or
yeah.
something within the year before.
all those guys in that movie are badasses.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dave Hansen was
Big Dave Hansen fan.
Yeah.
Always have been, always will be. You know him?
Well, so Act of Valor was another big movie that we liked, and whenever Gage said, "Hey, I want you to come out for graduation," so I went out with Chet and a couple other people, and so we went out there to the grinder, and sure enough, Dave Hansen is there with Geary during the graduation, and I'm like, man, that's a big deal.
Big
That's
dude.
the guy from
Yeah.
Act of Valor. Like he walked right by me, and I'm just like staring at him, and so Chet and Gage thought it was just so funny to try to embarrass me in front of all the team guys, saying, "Oh, this is his man crush. He loves Dave Hansen." I still haven't met Dave Hansen, so
You didn't get a chance to meet him?
no, I haven't met.
I got a
him,
man
but-
crush on him too, man. He's a freaking great dude.
not
I should have hooked that up, man.
Not
Did
this,
you get a chance to talk to him?
I haven't.
Bro, he's got this freaking accent, man. You're straight from New York,
Yeah,
man.
I kind of noticed that in the videos. Yeah,
Yeah.
Staten Island. He's
Staten Island boy.
He seems like a pretty awesome guy.
He is. Yeah, great dude, man.
It's just he's funny as all get out,
Yeah.
and love him to death. He works for Charlie
Yeah.
Keating, and so I would go to their Dallas event all the time, and every time I see him out there, got to talk to one of his brothers. We're trying to get that electric mud thing rocking out to celebrate Gage around his birthday. Didn't pan out, but we'll get it there. But they're all the same, that Staten Island accent. So my mom, born and raised in Manhattan, New York.
Oh my
wow.
gosh,
You
really?
wouldn't think with the accent and all this stuff, but I'm cultured.
Yeah.
I did the Frogman swim up there last year
Oh, you went up there?
to bring Gage after boot camp.
Yeah, yeah.
He met me and his sister in New York. We're going to do some bucket list stuff, which we got to do. And, Rockefeller Center at Christmas, things my mom.
Oh, that's the
talked about.
best.
Yeah.
You got to do that?
Oh, absolutely.
That's the best.
Plaza
That should be a bucket list for every American.
St. Patrick's Cathedral, FAO Schwartz, all the good stuff.
I love that.
Fifth Avenue, wasn't any snow, but it was good. But we had
you did a good one. That was a good run.
Great time, and got to see the side of, we're raised out in West Texas where Daddy's from, and got to see his stories. Well, and got to hear Mother's, and so I took JC and Gage up there to do some of those bucket list items, and got to check that off. And he didn't get to meet all his cousins, still up there, right? So last year, when I was offered the opportunity to attend these Gold Star events, I said, I don't get rubbed on the back or patted on the head. I'm either going to help you work or I'm going to participate in whatever the event is. Well, I haven't got to work. So, but in participating in these things, and I trained with a couple of Gage's brothers, some of the OGs from Buds, and I did the New York City's Frogman swim last year.
You actually swam.
I got.
How was it?
It's kicking the shorts.
Swimming, I can swim. Swimming's not an easy deal. I mean, swimming was easy. When I was little and I was taught to swim, swimming was easy. Getting out of the toe sack at that age, that was hard, but there's a joke behind that. But no, it was putting fins on, first of all. That's cool. You did that at the country club swimming pool because it made you go faster than the other guys, but you were faster for 50 feet. Up there, it's like, good Lord. So Gage and I did some endurance sports growing up, a lot of them. I used to ride long distance bike. At age 12, 13, I trained Gage to do the Hotter Than Hell 100 in Wichita Falls, biggest bike ride in the world, pretty much, 14,000 people. And it's the only place in the world, Wichita Falls, flat as Quanah, where I'm from, that the wind blows in 4 different directions the same day, and it's always in your face. But yeah, Gage and I did the 100K, 62.3 miles, and we did it just under 4 hours.
You are super dad.
And, well, that I think was the launching pad to show him what his mind and his body could physically do, mentally do. That hopefully
that's what those are for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so it was great, and we did it, and he ended up taking my bike to college. I don't know how much he rode it, but I was just telling him in the back of my pickup, I said, I'm sanding this thing down because they want to honor Gage this year at that ride, so I got to get this. Found my bike that he had taken that I'd sold to another buddy, and sanding it down. I'm fixing to print it out, and I was just showing him some designs I was going on, just the frame of this bike, and I don't know exactly how we're going to honor him, but I'm going to go ahead and train up again to see if I can't knock out that 62.3 again.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, got a lot of pictures from that deal, but did I answer your question? 3, 4, 6
yes,
was his Bud's class.
Yes, this is Bud's class. Yeah.
I'll go 26 different directions,
It's
but
okay.
I promise you stay with me, I'll get right back to
Yeah, no, that's so interesting.
That's how Texan talks.
Yeah.
So when does he graduate? Where'd he go?
When he graduated
Buds.
Buds, he stayed right there in San Diego. He was in San Diego the entire time.
What team?
What team did you go to?
3.
Yeah, 3. That's what I thought.
3 Charlie. And that's where he's a permanent member.
Yeah.
He's on the coin. He and Chris and Mansour and several of the other boys.
It's a badass team.
It is
A great team.
a heck of a team.
I mean, the reputation, but you don't ever hear about them. But Team 3 coming up, man, those are the gunfighters. Because back before they separated, how it works now, man, they were always getting into something.
Mm-hmm.
Always. I tried like hell to get there. I mean, like, dude, they had that place so stacked full of hard dudes, man. And I mean, it was awesome. I tried like decades to get there, man. I never made it. Yeah.
If you ever hear any stories about something happening, 6 has got its notoriety, right? For obvious reason.
For obvious reasons, yeah, they earn it.
You're hearing about anybody getting dirty. Chances are,
For Team 3.
yeah,
Absolutely, 100%. Not just in everywhere.
yeah,
No matter what they did, man, they had a aura about them.
yeah.
You knew when you were like, because I'm a Club 5 guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, with volleyball and nets and stuff like that, and beer kegs on Friday. But Team 3, like No Fun won. They're real. Stalag won. They're all about that. There's a reputation that goes with that, man. But 3, some gunfighting fools, man. That's what they were all about.
Oh,
For sure.
It's every time I get a chance to go out there and hang out with the boys, I do. Just whatever we can do.
God, dude, them freaking guys, man.
But yeah,
did
he
you
went. He
get
got
to
his
know-
orders right there on the grinder that day.
Good for him.
Yeah.
What an asshole. You know, talk about a new guy going straight there?
FNG.
Dude, man.
Yeah, he rocked it out, but he loved it.
The best one was like if you went to 3 to 6.
Yeah.
Like them guys.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of those guys trying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Frankfurt.
It's like our pipeline from there. Because East Coast, they pull it from everywhere, man. But it was usually 3 to 6.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
One of Hunter's friends did that.
Yeah.
he grew up with. Went from 3 to 6.
Wow.
Yeah. So as a dad, did you get to, because a lot of these guys, they go and they don't talk to their parents. They're too cool for their parents. Did you actually get to go into Coronado and meet with his teammates and get to know some of the guys he worked with?
We talked every day.
Oh, good. Oh.
Even on deployment, not sure if I can say. But yeah, we talked every day. I mean, it was just, I wanted to be a part of it. And I wanted, you know, I'm still coach too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to say I was the nicest coach in the world, but I got the best out of my people.
Hey, you're not supposed to be nice, coach. Yeah.
I was telling her, I got these little girls that do softball with me. I said, I think if you talk to them, you get a different story. There are the ones that are stayed that are still here with me, right? And then the ones that just didn't make it. It was just, man, if you're going to, you got to do it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not whether you win or lose, it's whether you win. But
it's not whether you win or lose, it's whether you win.
Yeah, period.
But no, it was just I'm hard.
Maybe a bumper
I'm
sticker
hard.
or a
I'm not
t-shirt
nice.
now, man.
I got a lot of pet names for my students, and they can all be pretty cute girls like that. But you take them on a softball tournament, they are nasty. They played 4 or 5 games a day in the 1,000-degree weather over here. We played tons in Houston, right? And you know, they all look pretty and everything like that. But man, when they're done with the day, they go to bed. Then you hope they hose off, but maybe you got
Yeah.
new makeup, time, ribbon. Let's go play balls. Loved it, and quite successful at it. But so yeah, with Gage, it was you know, if we're going to fail at something, it's not because we didn't try, and we're not going to be dumb about it. So let's put forth every effort we can, and let's see what we can do. I mean, even through all the phases, land warfare and whatnot, Gage had to roll. He went in as enlisted for good reason. You know, he broke his leg.
It was only way to do it.
Broke his
Even
legs.
the officers will tell you that
Yeah,
in the beginning. I mean, the crossing over is one thing, and he could have done that.
yeah.
But going in and enlisted in the teams with your degree is a lot of guys do that.
Yep. But yeah, glad he did it. I didn't understand it at the beginning, but wise choice, little fella.
Yeah, he used to tell me that, because I used to ask him, like, why would you do that? And he used to say that they just respect it more.
But it's the best.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you go in, especially if you got that degree, because then the officers are standing there, and our academy guys, you know, and we have a couple of state school guys, a lot of Mustangs and stuff like that. But just what the schools that you rack up,
Yeah.
and the longevity, and then right when you get to the age, there's a cusp, there's a cutoff. As soon as you get to that, you throw that package in, and be like, sure, done. That's so my brother did that.
He had a plan.
It's absolutely the way to go.
He had a plan.
Yeah, and that's a good one. And we all know that you want to do that.
Yeah.
That's the cool part about it. So then you'll get groomed.
Mm.
Yeah, they'll groom you for that.
Love
Yeah, we
that.
take care of our own, man, for sure.
Absolutely. That's one thing about all this. I always tell people, I said, you may see it on TV and read books about it, but until you're part of it, you don't really appreciate it.
That's what we let you see.
And I want to,
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you what I've witnessed and what it is, and how freaking amazing it is.
Mm-hmm.
To be a part of that. Gage loved every bit of what it was and what it represented, and super humble that he got to be a part of it. So he was super good guy. Gage was, he was average, but very unique, if that makes any sense.
Those are the ones you won't.
Yeah. Super humble. But I'm off key.
Wait.
Where are we at?
Did you get to go visit him?
I did. Yeah. We went out there I think the first time I went out there was for his graduation, which was really cool because I was a huge Team Guy fan, and just to go, this is before they redid the grinder too. So I got to go to the,
It's all brand new now. Yeah.
oh man,
Yeah.
it was so cool. And I still couldn't believe he did it. I mean, I remember he had called me when he was in Buds, and because all I ever talked about was Hell Week. I'm like, oh, I can't wait till you go through Hell Week.
Yeah.
That's a good best friend thing to say, right?
Yeah.
But he said, hey, I think it's coming up. You know, there's some guys are saying, I think it's going to be maybe this next week. He goes, you might not hear from me for a few days, but I'll holler at you when I'm done. I remember that whole week just checking my phone, like looking to see if he texted me, thinking he's going to quit. And then he texts me, I guess is it Friday?
Friday
the other
morning.
day? Friday?
Yeah.
And it was just one word. It just said secured.
Ah, how
I was
cool.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember
couldn't
that
believe
day.
it. But yeah, after graduated, went up there, and then went out there again for his wedding with Jewel, which was really cool, and a few other times.
Father Ryan.
No, not at all.
He married Jewel and Gage.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it was a cool little deal. Yeah, just a small group of us, and they went out to Torrey Pines actually.
Yeah.
Because that's where Jewel works, and
Gliders.
so over this big cliff, and yeah, it was kind of a crazy deal. Some of the paragliders tried to mess with us during the ceremony, and Gage's dog was going crazy, and we got on video. It's actually a pretty funny memory, but yeah, it was cool.
Here's a funny for you. You'll appreciate this. So, being from Texas, I told Gage, man, love for you to get married on Texas soil, but I get it, man. Go do your thing. You want to be home. You want to be private and quiet like that. So, I was out there. We're getting ready for that event. It's right there at Gliders Point over Blacks. And I thought, all right, they're getting ready to do their thing. Everybody's getting their spots. And I thought, wait 1 second. So I walk out right where they're going to stand, and I open up my little Ziploc
Good
bag.
for you. Good for you.
And
I figured you'd do that.
It was out of
That's
my buddy's horse lot.
Great dad.
So you thought Pong the dog wigged out with those guys. Wait till he got to smell it.
So officially, Texas, that place belongs to Texas now.
Bingo. Yeah, there's a flag there.
Got our dirt down there.
It can secede from the union if it wants to.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That's so funny.
Little gift from us. But yeah, we get out there every chance I get, and absolutely I stay in touch with every one of the guys. That's the thing about, I keep telling about the brotherhood. I said I get a call or a text every week, multiple times, especially if we got something coming up. And, I'm trying to promote Gage's legacy and create some things that would spur interest beyond the norm. And, as far as like clothing that we could do, you guys have that whole lumberjack cowboy look when you're off duty out there, right? So how to bring it back to Texas. I don't have a seaport anywhere close, right? So how are we going to do that here? Just got to promote it. Got to say, hey, everybody is enamored with the idea about SEALs and everything they do. And I thought, let's bring the softer side into this deal if we can for a little bit, because it's that whole clandestine way of living that you kind of know something from an Illuminati standpoint, let's put it. And just bringing that in there, building an icon about who Gage was rather than just the foundation all the time. Just trying to promote him. And so I ask the guys all the time for design ideas and whatnot. One thing I learned is, I want Gage to be, bam, present. It's not how you guys work. DL, right? So now I'm in the murdered outlook.
Yeah.
Says it, but you may not be able to read it. But if you want to read it, it's over there. And if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Know what you're looking at.
Yeah. Know what it is. And then, so running that route, and that's just one of the veins to try to keep a back channel revenue stream going for the foundation so we can operate and get out and help and do what we need to do. But yeah, to answer your question, stay in touch with those guys much. So again, when done raising Gage, these guys are the same age, and I want to be there if I can.
So
all the way
cool.
through the kiddos and everything. Gage loved the kiddos and the puppies. So that's part of what we also do. Focus any of our funds that we're donating to the foundations that supported us right to the youth programs, if we can. And we always have a like Gage's golf tournament. Pong, rescue dog, was his dog, and Jules. Shepherd Husky, mix, pretty chill cat, right? We flew him out for the golf tournament, and I want to do something exclusive for Pong. So rather than having a putting tournament at the end when you get all your golfers drunk and free flowing with those $20 bills, getting my heckling funkles out there with the buckets and give shit to everybody about how they suck at golf altogether, but get them lubricated up first. And we came up with a game where we chipped instead of putted. Put rubber dog shit on the green.
Oh my gosh.
We had a little contest called Pong's Closest to the Poop Chute. So it's taken on its own identity, and we made a lot of money. And we bring out
that's an original idea.
Yeah, we bring a
That's funny.
We bring a dog foundation out, an agency for rescues out to everyone in our events, and we'll continue to do that. And everything that event makes, I'll spend more money on that prize than the golf tournament just to get people to participate and give back. So
oh my gosh,
that's what we do for Pong, for Gage, for Pong. And so yeah, Pong's closest to the poop chute. I should put a legal statement in here, right?
Flavor. That's so funny.
Ricky Bobby statement there.
Oh my gosh. Do you mind going into his last deployment at all?
Absolutely not. His last deployment was his first. And I can. Investigation's over with. So if I skip over parts, bear with me. I'll come back. I've been over this many times. So I can go off into different rants and different directions right now because we're not done with a lot of that as far as what's going to be achieved from it. But yeah, he was deployed. Went to Bahrain, right? And so Rabbit, I said, hey, bud, send me, I've done international logistics all my life, but I had every opportunity in the world to travel the world doing that. I worked for UPS and several European companies, air freight manager and whatnot, and had tons of opportunity to travel the world. But being a single dad through their younger years, if I was offered 5 extra minutes to those kids, I didn't want to be gone. I would have regretted it. That's that conscience thing I was telling you. It kills me every time. So I never did. I said, you're in Bahrain. I've worked with Bahrainians before. It's probably not the right vernacular for them, but take some pictures. Show me some stuff. You go around the world, right? I get a damn picture of rigs at a damn Texas roadhouse in Bahrain. That's
You're gonna have a lot of fun in Bahrain.
So you can understand why what I thought I was going to see was not what I got. Something I could have seen down the road from my own house. But nonetheless, yeah, he's deployed there, and I'm getting, like I said, we talk every day, and they're getting ready to be deployed, and they get deployed onto the puller, Chechi puller, and they're going to the Arabian Sea to do their thing, and then come back in, I don't know, 3-4 weeks. And biggest concern was we had this thing where I wanted him to get me a picture when he's macked out, ready for an op, or a hit one night. Just put Grandpa's Sheriff's Department patch on and give me that picture. We're going to send it back to Sheriff Lafferty, who, big fan of my dad's, and it'd be good because being raised in that environment for those years, it's Chester was there forever. Everybody knows him. And I said, get that. So Gage and I were both named after my dad. It was going to be a big deal for him and I to have that picture and then to share it with the current sheriff. And I was afraid he wasn't going to get his package. So, package was typical Gage stuff. 20 pounds of beef jerky, 40 pounds of chocolate in that patch, and a Savannah Bananas jersey.
Oh, how funny.
Oh, nice.
So, I sent it out to him, and I guess they sent it out to the ship. They were supposed to come back, but that was an extension. And so he got all that because he bitched about the ghost pepper beef jerky, but didn't stop him from eating it. But got that patch, and then one thing leads to another. They get deployed on this this one operation, and they get deployed on this one operation to go out on January 11th, and guide me here. How much detail do you want?
Whatever you are comfortable giving.
Because I'm way deep in it on different facets. I'm working both the East Coast and West Coast across this story. So
whatever's not confidential and whatever you're comfortable saying.
I haven't been held to anything. I respected the investigation, so nothing was said and done then. I don't think anything's confidential right now. So I'll just go. I'll just tell it like I'm testifying. So you have to go out on the hit. There's question as to whether they should have been there during that sea state.
That always gets brought up.
We'll set that over there. There's questions as to whether it was a combat zone or not. We'll set that over there. So let's go straight to the hit. So yeah, they're out there. Gage is on. He's not the first boat to unload, but he and Chris Chambers, and God bless him, are going to board. Gage is one Romeo. He's following his LPO, Chris Chambers, and in a nutshell, in an attempt to board
doing a ship attack,
the Dhow, an attempt to board the Dhow. I guess there were several attempts because the sea state was unstable, and going up that particularly difficult ladder may have been something that was going to be more difficult than just at the proximity of the boats together, jump the rail, which I understand is common practice in some cases. And so Chris attempted that and just didn't make good contact. And so, as the investigation would say, he fell 9 feet. And there is a video. I had like 3 Keikos assigned to me during all this. I'm not going to say I was unstable, but they were concerned. I have this nasty habit of saying what I'm going to do and then doing it. A lot of the guys I've learned to trust through all of this that saw the video, and one of them said, "Hey, don't make that your last image of Gage." And I didn't want that to be right. Last thing you would ever want if you know the result like that ended up with Gage, you wouldn't want them to suffer. So stay away from that. Just know that, one thing I want to bring up is no matter what award Gage has received, I hope we'll get into that in just a minute. The biggest reward is between his graduation and boot camp. I asked him to accept Jesus, and he did. So, tightening that story back up again, Chris jumps the rail. Something happened there. There's all kinds of conclusions in the investigation and the read back. Gage, without hesitation and without disrobing some of the things that perhaps would have helped him out, without hesitation, went after Chris. And like I said, there's the video. You can hear people's versions of it. But if you read the read back, the book is better than the movie. So I never watched the video. I'm not going to watch the video. But I was privy to a thermal picture from the event last week while we were in Austin.
They had overhead. Yeah.
And I'm jumping ahead. Gage goes in. Gage tries to get to Chris. They make contact. Gage is going back for the ladder. Turns around. Chris is struggling, or Chris is not there again. Gage goes back a second time. Goes back to the rail. And I believe there's a third attempt by Gage. Now, mind you, Gage is one Romeo. He's a little heavier than everybody else. He's packing radios, batteries, and he always brought extra mags for the buds, right? For his boys. So Gage 208, buck naked at this point, and he's macking an extra 80, 90 pounds, wearing deck shoes and pitching C's. And he's somehow, I don't know how but he fought his ass off. And at one point in time, he got back to the ladder still after 2 or 3 attempts. And the pitch of the sea dipped the boat in. And when it popped back up, Gage wasn't there. He had to be exhausted. So, water wings are an issue. We'll talk about that later. Separate detail if you want to. Great detail if you want to. It's part of the deal when readback came is, what the hell happened? What's going on? Tell me more about this. I can't change the past, but how can I help change the future based on my experience and whatever this dad can do, because he's got a lot of passion and it's going to be the rest of his life. So they found 1 water wing out of the 4 that could have possibly been deployed. And as far as we know, those 2 boys are still kicking water. I joked that their egos of these kind of fellows, they could still be sitting in a bar in Djibouti drunk, just waiting for people to come appreciate the fact that they were there for him.
We actually have a bar under the sea.
Yeah.
That's where he's at then.
Yeah, and Bin Laden's wrapped up, sitting down there at the edge of it with the rest of us. You ever seen that picture?
No.
Oh, it's awesome. All of our guys don't drown. When the sea takes them back, they live forever.
Yeah.
That's a thing. We got a bunch of us that there's enough of us that's happened. That's why you never find them.
Mm-hmm.
And seals don't die in the water. They just get taken back home. It's the womb that we're born from, and it's the womb we return to. We've said that our entire lives. That's how you create us, is out of that water. So if she snatched him back, he's still down there. So that's what we say a lot. It's like, hey, when you get in trouble out in the water, start calling for them guys. They'll show up.
You'll see them. Long for the day, actually.
Yeah.
But no, that's good. No, that's.
I need to get you that picture.
Gonna have to wrap.
It's got a whole bunch of team guys drinking underwater. There's an SDV in the background, a bunch of frogs getting just drunk, pissed drunk, and then Bin Laden's at the edge of the bar, and everybody got their arms around him, just kind of doing one of those. Oh yeah, man, it's a good one.
You got to tell me where to find.
And all the guys who've been taken back by her are there. They're at that bar.
Absolutely.
That would be.
So in the absence of remains, I always tell people in all these talks, every chance I get to talk. I traveled with Duncan Smith and the SEAL Family Foundation all over the country, Navy SEAL Foundation, you name it. Give me an opportunity, and you're gonna have to get me to shut up now. Love to have that picture. That's
I'll get it to
pretty
you.
creative. And that's an
awesome.
image I'd like to see.
Not a lot of people have seen it.
Yeah.
Joey Nobody's the guy who draws all that stuff up. He's our ink artist that tats all the guys up.
Yeah.
He calls you. You don't call him, kind of deal.
Yeah.
And he did that.
Really?
That's too cool.
It is.
Yeah. But no, I'd love to have that. I'm collecting everything I can. What was that?
So
the story. We're on the hit.
Yeah.
So-
When did you find out?
I don't know. It's not proper to say names, right? Of active duty folks.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, large man on Friday the 12th, January last year. I'm doing my normal Friday thing, man. I live right there on the Roanoke, Texas, unique dining capital of Texas, and I am doing my thing. What you do at 4:21 on Friday, going down to have a beer, and I get a call back from my roommate. Hey, come back up here. And I thought, she getting another damn dog. So I go back up there and I'm start walking down the hall, and that scene on TV, bunch of big blue suits knocking on my door, and I'm wearing the same damn cap. Turn around, I start to walk away, and then I said, stomp my foot, turn back around. And then Mindy says, Command Master Chief, knock on the door, says, Mr. Ingram, and then invite him in. And that engaged part of me that is still in effect. And that is, everybody okay? What do we do? Let's manage the situation. Let's go. Don't have time for this crap. Gage, they're just lost. It's going to be a good story to tell. Better than one of mine, but I'm sure I can embellish it when it happens, when he tells me. And again, with that mindset in play and the lack of remains, I still feel I can tell that story one day. Who knows? He could walk in that door. I tell people everywhere, he could walk in that door in a minute. You don't know, man. And I get a little piece from that. We joke about it all the time. But yeah, they knock on the door and start explaining what's going on, this, that, and other. And, my concerns are, where's Jewel? Is Jewel where? Where's JC, my daughter? Are we getting tight? Are we getting this unit together so we can start putting together a strategy? What do we need to do? Tell us what to do. And I'm just that guy. The more intense it is, the quieter I'm sitting over in the corner. And kind of been that way ever since. Next day, I'm on a plane going to California with a bunch of big hairy apes. Super great people, and the chaplain, everyone that was involved there. And just trying not to let anybody else take it too serious, if at all possible. Try to find my peace if you can, but you're not going to control that. And well, we get there, and I was supposed to ride in the Fort Worth Livestock Show rodeo parade. Me and the Funkles again. We're going to do this. And we met for breakfast that morning, and I had other places to go. They were dressed for the parade. They took me to the airport, met everybody there, and we flew back. And I get a text when I'm going down to the luggage carousel that they're on the plane behind us. They didn't ride. They were coming out. So they stayed with us for 10 days of the search, back and forth. And got there, and a lot of more Navy boys are sitting down there waiting on us. And then they didn't let us handle anything. Like I said, from where I'm from, do it your damn self. And it was really hard to give up that and make them explain and understand. So I was more trying to help them acclimate to me than me acclimate to them, or whatever was going to make everybody happy and easy. And let's just get control of this, and let's get to the room, and let's just wait for the good story to come at the end. And still waiting for the story to end. Still waiting for that part. So, but back to the hit. Gage went in, did everything he could, and then from beginning to end, it was 47 seconds. Yep. And then 10-day search. Beyond that, I know immediately the boys went into got to find him mode for the next 12 hours. I got a certain call from a certain individual from the boat to introduce himself and explain what they were doing. And I said, don't worry, get back to work, and if there's any damn way you can get me there, because much like yourself, you'd probably, something's wrong with your kid, you're going to go wherever they are in the world. And man, I started asking for coordinates right away. And got those. I never was a tattoo guy. Gage was getting into all that stuff, and I never was a tattoo guy, but I went to the same guy that Gage got his from in San Diego and still go. And first tattoo was coordinates. So I know national anthem means a little bit more, but the intent at that point in time, believe it or not, was I'm that asshole. I'm that thick-headed person, and I've got a couple of friends the exact same way that you can look across the room, have a conversation, you never have to say a word. And it was, all right, Egypt, Cairo. Then we're going to move on down through Djibouti, off the coast of Somalia. If we surely there's a Ranger bass boat salesman down there somewhere. I said, if that's what we got to do. Socotra's the closest island. I said, that's what we've got to do. I've promised my kids I'd do that, and that's what I'm supposed to do. It sounds like it's made for TV. I say what I do.
You went there?
No, but it's not because I wasn't trained and didn't want to. But it's where I'll be one day, though. I'm still him. Told him to just pour my ashes out there. And I'm Catholic. You're not supposed to get cremated. I said it'd be kind of hard to get the body over there, but if you have promised to throw my body in there gladly and piss on top of it. But yeah, it's my plan. So that's what happened that day. And they knocked on the door, and we're still living that nightmare-ish.
It is
Make good out of every bit of it, though, as much as you can. Now, like I said, Gage is always present with us. He was giving us hell last night in my pickup. It's only less than 3 years old, and the damn air conditioner's not working.
Yeah.
And I said, you watch. We're going to get right there close to the hotel and
turn back on.
And like clockwork. That's Gage.
Yeah.
Just messing with us. But the ironies are unending. And we were just talking about God coming down here, and I said, how can you ever be an atheist and not believe that, especially in a situation like we're in, all the ironies that have taken place? I mean, crazy stuff that just wouldn't happen. And maybe we're more environmentally aware of certain things than we were before, but it's just crazy things happen where the presence he's there,
Can't believe it.
Yeah.
We when got coincidences back in 2017.
Yeah.
It's not how it works around here anymore. We're in kind of a new zone
Yes,
going
sir.
through that shift. So when you pay attention to all those, for the first time you see it, you just kind of shove it off. Second time it comes around, you'll notice it, but you won't say anything to anybody. Third time you probably get scared, right? Think you're losing your mind, but then it just keeps happening. And then eventually you pick it up and you understand what it is. And once that happens, there's this feeling that comes along with it, and that's how you know it's real. Yeah.
Well.
The best is when you got somebody with you who sees it.
Well, nowadays you talk about people just think you're crazy. Well, I look around, and my reaction is that people probably think I'm crazy. The other part of it is the reason to think I'm crazy is because I'm laughing at something as I just shared a joke with the boy.
Yeah.
You look at that. And people ask me, what are you laughing about? I said, nothing.
I remember getting my first car. It was exciting, but very stressful. I had no clue if I was getting a good deal or not, but if I had what Navy Federal Credit Union and TrueCar are offering right now, it would have made life so much easier. Right now, you can get a $250 bonus when you buy your next car through Navy Federal's car buying service powered by TrueCar, and you can finance it through Navy Federal. You can get access to a ton of listings, special incentives on select vehicles, and fast financing decisions with great rates. It's clear, it's simple, and it's actually built to help you out. And if you're active duty, a veteran, or just part of a military family, this is made specially for you. Navy Federal has got your back, helping you hit your goals both on and off the road. So if a new ride is in your plan, don't overthink it. Just start with Navy Federal. To qualify for the $250 bonus, car purchase and financing must be completed by September 2nd, 2025. Terms and conditions apply at NavyFederal.org/TrueCar. Credit and collateral subject to approval. Navy Federal is insured by the NCUA.
But it's unbelievable, some of the things. They happen all the time. It'll happen before we get home, right?
Well, that's good. He's with you and you know it. So that's all that matters.
Absolutely.
Don't lose that.
Yeah.
Don't ignore it is what I mean.
I get so busy sometimes and tired. I'm still as the pad, which I didn't know what that was January a year ago. And then I was told what it was. His final dispositions, charged with ceremonies and everything like that. He'd put me down for that, and as executor and whatnot. And we had talked about how to fill things out and the paperwork before you get deployed. You know, who do you want to do your...
You want to see some calamity?
Mhm.
I see a good time. I mean, you really want to laugh your ass off. Watch us fill out our wills. That whole day doing that is the funniest thing you'll ever see and hear about.
I was
Stuff these freaking guys come up with, doing their wills, to leaving their wills. We talk about, I mean, it's kind of morbid because you're talking about our death, right? But when we're going through that, have to do it every time.
Yep.
Really?
Every single time.
Man.
Yeah.
It was funny. Gage, last thing he should have done was ask me for advice on that because, you know, I can get a little creative. But no, we just made it super simple. Do this, do
got
that.
some guys, man, that haul their ass up to Everest.
Yeah.
And then some guys will leave all their buddies, whatever their buds class number was, like if it was minus 228, like $2.28. Every one of my guys, make sure you pass that out. Then your guys have to haul you. We got guys who are like, I want flaming arrows and a Viking funeral. And I mean, we got to do it.
Yeah.
That's their last wish. You got to do it.
Absolutely. No,
You
we
should
did
have
it
done
good.
yours like Augustus McCrae, like where you have to be
I had some
hauled
crazy ones, man.
by a,
All the way back from Montana.
all the way back from Texas
all
to
the way back to
Montana.
Texas, man. Bury me in that orchard. Claire's orchard.
But no, it was the whole ceremony thing. Normal thing is I think foundation set those up and present it to the family, and I wouldn't have it. I said, nope, my honor. So I'm sitting out in Del Mar in a hotel parking lot, and I don't want to go to sleep. I don't want to sit in bed thinking about this. And so I just stay up. Legal pads, books, this, that, and other. Funkles are back in Texas, and I'm talking to David and that bunch, and you know, we're getting things organized, and we got to do this, and we got to do that. And I'm sure it looked like a clown parade for the longest part, but we were figuring it out, and we're going to make it right. And God, man, got so many people involved, you know, and Daddy being sheriff for all those years, super fans of first responders. Uncle up in New York, retired NYPD captain. There's just a long history
cool.
there. And got them all involved. Got Fort Worth involved, Denton County, you name it, North Lake, West Lake, South Lake, Roanoke, Trophy Club, Keller. And I apologize if I'm forgetting anybody, but the list goes on. And Ross Pro was huge in support.
Ain't he great?
He is a
That whole
great,
family.
Absolutely.
great
That Texas
American
royalty right there.
person.
The Pearl family.
Loved his dad.
Man.
Dad and his book.
God.
Just read the book.
Great.
And I told Ross first time I met him, I said, you know, I respect the hell out of you. Of course, Ross for boss. I actually voted for him in the day. And I said, but you know who I'm most fascinated with? I said, is your grandma. When she told him, Ross, that he's responsible for those people, and he took it to heart. I was just telling him about the book and the movie yesterday. I said, go read it. You'll get
That freaking family, man. That's why first time I ever started paying attention to politics when he started running back in the day.
Yeah. Right.
Granddaddy.
But man, he showed up in so many ways, unexpected, but I'm so proud to call him a friend and neighbor per se. And I hope to,
He's a great Texan.
Mhm.
hope to be able to continue that. And we text occasionally, and I tell him, I said, listen, I'm not saying I'm somebody, but he answers on the first ring every time. And he's that kind of guy. He probably does that for everybody. But yeah, him and the family are so great. Great Americans, great patriots, and vet himself. You know,
Yeah.
holds that.
Whoever put that discipline in them back in the day did a good job.
Yes, sir.
And those manners.
I think it's got something to do with grandma.
Grandma,
I
yeah.
have so much respect for her. And when she said that to him,
Because it stuck.
he took it to heart.
Yeah, stuck.
Yep.
So what's your goal with the foundation? What's your dreams with it?
So like I said, I started this out of, I don't grieve like everybody else. I stay busy, and I needed to stay busy. And believe me, we stayed busy with just getting that ceremony together. And kind of worked on a 3-hour sleep schedule, which I did it again last night. I said, just somehow this 58-year-old body's acclimated to it. I don't know if it's a good thing, but we'll see. The foundation had to get it up and running. When we built that program, it was designed around the idea of, you know, getting people involved and being able to maybe later on lean on them to help grow this. I heard about foundations, contributed to foundations, never knew I was going to be in charge of one. And man, I had so much passion and love that I needed an outlet, and the energy put into that felt good. And there were no gates, there were no hurdles that weren't going to get run down. And in all honesty, maybe I didn't see them. Maybe I was moving too fast, but there weren't a whole lot. Still learned a whole lot. Gage's story and the passion that's associated with who he was, outside of just being one of the most badass people in the world, like this man over here. There's another side to Gage. Like I said, he's that common guy that it's got a side to him that nobody ever saw, and developing that, who he is, who he was, what he was going to be, based, if nothing else, on our image and our shared idea of who he was. Got nothing but incredible feedback and stories from folks that I'm still meeting on a daily basis and who knew Gage was and served, and his impact on them in a small amount of time. There are guys getting out now that are able to talk to me about certain things. And it's just incredible about the impression that Gage made on them. So from a dad standpoint, I said, we knew what we signed up for. This is one of the results, what happened at the end. I said, where my tears come from is the pride that I get knowing that other people saw. Maybe it's like being validated as maybe raising your kids. You did the right thing. And people's pride in Gage that never knew him or knew of him. And first impression he made on people. And it means he did what he was told to do growing up.
That's one thing we do.
Yeah.
SEAL teams, man, we gauge you.
Absolutely. No
Like,
problem.
how will you be gauged,
Yeah.
right? That kind of thing.
Yep.
That's a huge deal with us. Like, and those guys who go out early, that's an immortalization right there.
I'm
Immortalized
I'm
at that age.
But taking that, to answer your question on the foundation where I want it to go, I want to represent Gage in the highest way possible. Like I said, I'm not trying to compete with the big people on the outside. It's hard not to want to, though, because they do so many good things. And just like Gage, we want to help everybody. I was telling him, I said, I hope Gage was the same way, but the emotion, hate, I've never knew what that was growing up. Daddy was sheriff. We didn't like everybody. Everybody liked us. We didn't get votes. We didn't eat, right? Never knew what that was. And I think Gage employed that also. He was just a super good human being. In addition to, and I'm being a little biased here. Others would probably have a deeper, more sentimental story, but I'm going to stay on the tough side of it all. But I want his foundation to represent what he would have been, what I knew him to be, how he was raised to be. And like I said, being validated through a lot of the actions and the stories that are coming back from other people like that, I think I'm on the right path to basically just be a damn good human. Believe in your Lord, right? It's going to guide you everywhere. And the tough side of that is it can get done in time. A lot of things I've been working on for the last 15 months. We just achieved some really big deals. So kind of on the vacation, you're seeing the vacation side of Chet right now, because he's kind of coasting right now until the next challenge comes up. But I was telling one of the state representatives, I said, it's not how I wanted to get this done to achieve some of the things for Gage's legacy. I said, I feel like I'm walking uphill backwards, but at least I'm moving forwards, if that makes any sense. And it's a good, we've got that notoriety. I kept telling people, I said, I got to make Gage famous. Got to make Gage famous. This is going to make my job so much easier, but how do you make Gage famous beyond the norm? I said, you just got to put him in front of every platform that offers you the opportunity to talk about that boy. By the way, thank you for having me here.
Yeah.
You're welcome for having us.
Absolutely.
It was an honor. And Mr. Mac Alexander, if you're listening, thank you, buddy.
Yes.
My Mac belt today.
So came out here and Marcus
I'm looking to
whipped
bust some windshields.
What was that?
Hey, that kid's
cinder block.
We're freaking talking about our guys who go out and reinvent stuff. They come up with a belt.
Yeah.
I wear it all every day.
Making dog collars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really kick the crap out of any more center blocks with that thing, but I freaking.
I'm looking for some windshields though.
Mac
Yeah.
But no, he's awesome. Met him in Tampa at the Frogman Swim. He's a super great guy.
He is, man.
And he's just hell of a success story. Story.
Got a great personality.
Yeah.
So your next event that's a big fundraiser for Gage is the golf tournament.
So that's what we started with last year. Needed to do something, so we got off on that. So no, actually, we're trying to. There's so much going on the award side to get us here, I want to be able to tell you what we've just done the last couple of months. Trying to plan a clay shoot.
Fun.
Yes, we were gun. Hell yeah, we're gun guys. I build ARs. I built a lot of ARs for one of the foundations where I put a lot of Gage's information on it. We designed guns way back. Gage, well, again, we were doing all this while Gage was in there. And I'll tell you an off-color story about, not a mixed company, about a particular name of one gun that we kind of created, invented, and we called our own. It's kind of a CQC replica gun that we would want in case, should there be any stupidity associated with school shootings and whatnot. And it just got under our skin, and we haven't been primed up, 12 cans primed up. We're sitting there designing this thing with our hands, and we came up with a name, but I'm not going to say what it is. But to the point where now we have I'm having the first 10 of these lowers and uppers milled right now.
Fun.
And it's it's going to be called the Baker Rifle, model number NGI-346. His initials in his buzz class, and it'll be serialized. And so those are coming out. But
what caliber?
5.56 in that platform.
Check.
But 7.62 could be coming along. 300 blackout could come from that.
Yeah.
We've got a little bit of everything. We talked that all week. So yeah, we got that coming. Like I told you, get that Gage gear out there as it comes along. Hopefully, there's been so many other things happening that now has to, as of last week. And if you don't mind, I'd like to tell you.
Please.
So Representative Ben Baumgartner last year out of Flower Mound, after Gage's ceremony, kind of knew how politics worked. I was being handed a lot of binders at the ceremony and super busy through all that. But I went back and I visited. I'm thought, all right, how do I do this? So first thing I'm going to do is I got to go at the highest level that I'm comfortable approaching right now. Ben, his office was 2 blocks down the street from me in Roanoke. I asked if I could meet him. Went down there and we talked about Gage. And I said, I want to promote Gage. I said, here's the deal. You're probably talking to the biggest dummy in the world right now when it comes to this. I'm looking for guidance. Right? Ben made some suggestions, and that was well over 15 months ago. And, the legislature had to get back in session back in January and had to wait. Got the read back in October, the day after the golf tournament, from the Admiral. And that was interesting in and of itself. But waiting, hoping things would come from that. Awards. How can I need to make Gage famous. How can I get Gage on the stage with these awards and recognition and whatnot from folks? Things that I think he did deserve. But again, as a dad, we're not going to ask for that. If you feel it in your heart, by God, get it out there. I want you to do that. If not, I'm going to do everything I can personally to get people aware of Gage, because, as tragic as it was, things don't stay on people's minds very long. Through all of this, I've learned that there are a lot of small people that make big problems out of small problems. Mm-hmm. So one of the things I always tell my girls all the time in coaching and everything is there are no big problems. I got big problems, but there aren't big problems. It's just how you choose to approach them, right? Mm-hmm. Look at your life as chapters, and always know that there's another chapter after this one, and look forward to the next chapter. Yeah. Right? Or what's it going to be? And start thinking about that. Think across the horizon. I always say it's the single dad's theory is you've got to look way ahead if you're going to afford things. You got to start saving her sophomore year for her senior dress, right? That's what I had to do. But just think ahead. So through the foundation, getting it built, how to get it built, what my intentions are, and not knowing any other way of doing it was to give back to the folks who had just given to us, right? Because if I can refill those coffers that the foundation spent to cover us, God forbid, but unfortunately, that money can go to another family that we can help. That'll be the first thing. Gage would want to help everybody. Mm-hmm. So doing that, and it got to the point where maybe it's the uniqueness of the situation. We had the 2 ceremonies in February, and then we were asked to wait till April for the team to get back, for Charlie to get back from deployment before we had the Rosecrans and the command ceremony. So I'm sure I would recommend doing that ever again, because that just opened up a bunch of wounds. But we agreed to it because we wanted the boys there, right? The Charlie boys. And so that gave me time to start building on this. What are we going to do? How are we going to do? Who are we going to be in contact with? Investigations, visiting with Charlie a lot, at Keating, seeing what he had at the ranch, and the idea around it. And that was I thought, okay, Charlie's doing this. That's what I got to do. And I thought, I'd stop. Calibrate and check your resources and see what we can do and can't do. Well, being from West Texas, we have a lot of open land, a lot of opportunities. And I started started valuing my upbringing as I met a lot of the team guys, right? Turns out they're not all from Texas. So when you sit
just the good ones.
Yeah, when you sit there and talk to them about, weed harvest and working cattle, right? Hunting. Like, all right, we got dove, quail, turkey, sandhill crane, chupacabra.
We got them. Bigfoot. Man, we got it all out here.
They're everywhere, yeah. But having all that, white-tailed deer and hogs out the butt. We got a big hog problem. So they're all fascinated with this. I said, y'all want to come out and play in the playground there? Because there's a lot of guys out there that probably enjoy knowing what you guys do, on the DL, OPSECs in order. But, if you want to come out, come on out. And I thought, all right, I can't offer medical therapy, but I ain't seen anybody with an issue having a problem when they're having fun. And that's kind of what we do. We work our butts off and we have a lot of fun. We put as much heart into both ways, and maybe we can make something out of that. And that's what I'm attempting to do. So, Gage's Retreat is something we came up with. Adventure therapy program is it's what I'm titled, and I'm sure it's used elsewhere, but I found that you can actually get a certification in that. Too cool for school. And started just a while back. So one of the things we did at the golf tournament is we auctioned off a helicopter hog hunt, and we just engaged that after turkey season was over with. You don't want to do it during turkey or deer season. Went up and got the video, and I thought, this is it right here. This is the stuff. And we have a very good friend with a very large amount of land out there who's going to participate in this. And I want to create a place where the guys can come. Yeah, we're talking about Navy Special Warfare for the most part, Gold Star families. If it's therapeutic to come out and just hang out and do what I always hated to do growing up, right? If you want to drive a tractor, we pay people to drive a tractor, and you want to do it for free, come on out, little fella.
They do all day.
Yeah,
they'll sit in that tractor all day. It's the most calming thing you can imagine.
Therapeutic. So after I left there and I'd go back out, we had a friend that was working on his place, and I told him, I said, buddy, I'd get 2 pickle weenies, a bag of peanuts, my iPod, and a 12-pack of Bud Light, and I would sit on that tractor till the sun went down.
And then turn the lights on till I started swerving. Then call it a day.
It was wild. There was no roads. They were a high fence. Not a big deal. But that's therapy, man. And offering these guys this opportunity to just come out and kind of live the way we did and just look at it from a different angle, man.
Sitting around that campfire at the end of the day at night while something's cooking, that you can smell it.
Absolutely.
If all the billionaire kids earn all that money so they can go do that, all the poor kids try to get away from it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the weirdest phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone I know at the end of the day loves sitting around that fire.
Oh, yeah.
And eating a good meal at the end of the day.
Trying to merge those two worlds.
Yeah, put them together.
Right there in Quanah where we're at, Medicine Mound area. It's I think it's the 4th darkest place in the nation on the astrological whatnot charts of the world, to the point where I guess I took it for granted growing up. But a couple of buddies went out there one time and just looked up and nearly hit your head on the Milky Way. It just, wow, I forgot, living in the city so long, just how beautiful it is and all the stars you can see. But offering all that.
Can you believe that? They can't see that in the city.
It is.
You can see the stars in the cities.
It's like you're in space.
Out there, you can see everything.
Oh, more than everything. Good Lord, you can see everything that Elon Musk ever put up there. But
Damn Tesla.
But no, just offering that, just something I've taken for granted, and just kind of reinventing it and offering it to the guys. And if it helps, man, get you away from a problem, or even if it's for a minute, to me it's therapeutic. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV.
All right.
Kidding. But I think that's really cool idea. And it, outside the fact that it's hell of fun, it's a blast all the time. You ever want to go? Just
all the time.
We've got.
You funneling guys in there all the time would be the best.
Tens of
thousands. A lot of our guys don't know where to go.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not. I mean, from where we come from, the family, not all, everyone comes from a great family kind of deal, and they left to get away. But they'll go to places like that.
Absolutely. And I'm trying to find that format or that platform in which to communicate, and I'm doing it with the team guys at a time. I go to every one of these events, like the same way I've met with Mac.
Yeah, word of mouth, put that up quick.
If I hadn't met Mac, I wouldn't be sitting here right now, right? Mm-hmm. And he's such a good guy, and he's so passionate about wanting to promote, and having not ever known Gage, and he's passionate for me to be successful at what we're doing. I'm gonna
same fraternity though, it doesn't matter.
Thankful, right? And so taking that into it, another thing we're looking at doing, like I said, the bonus dad program, trying to support the guys in any way I can within the legal parameters of being allowed to. for those guys. And then if nothing else, like I told the Admiral last week in Austin, I said, I just want to bring some steaks out there and let's go to command. Let's cook right there on that dirt and drink some beer and just whatever. I don't know.
That's all you need. That's it.
That's all we want to do.
That's it.
Let's cook a pig. Let's cook a cow. Let's do whatever. Drink some beer and
kill something, cook something,
nasty,
eat something, drink some beer.
Wait till somebody who thinks you're super talented wants to play, and we'll make fun of them. We'll have stories.
That's it.
To tell.
Video it.
It's about memories, right?
That's
it.
it.
Make your memories. I
Make
don't
some
have
stories.
to have anything, but that's what keeps me so. That's why I'm so rich in Gage's world. Is because I didn't have to have everything. Got my memories right, fun stories, and the ability to sometimes tell them in a clever way. But that's what we've got. So, bonus dad program, adventure therapy program, and then still strategically placing funds in bigger organizations. When I say strategically, focusing on youth programs and things that we want to see get attention in any way, shape, or form. And very liberating. It feels free to be able to say, wow, I've got the ability to actually do that. But it's through the foundation. It's through the gift of others, through the memory of Gage, right? So I sit and juggle all these things all the times and try to figure out how would you just sit that and let that flow, and it comes out different every stinking time. Like I said, I tried to write Gage's name down and read something one time, couldn't get past it, and I've never done it again. So I speak from the heart, walk out of the room. Until I hear this again, I'm not going to know what the hell I said when I get my pickup in a minute. But the foundation is there. We want to be different. I tell everybody, I said, I kind of want to help what everybody else is doing, but I want to do it differently. So not that there's gaps in anything, but there are things that need some attention paid to them. I would like to think, because in my situation, I thought, what if we'd had little kids? What if we had a teenage girl, like the ones I coach and everything? What if it was prime time? What if son was getting ready to go to state and this tragedy befell them? How do we try to help those kids make what they can best out of a super bad situation, and maybe just maintain some memory for this that's good from this age and this time in their lives, and maybe focusing on that. So they got the prom dress. Does he have a bat?
That's a huge one.
What do they need? If we could
kids that make it in, they qualify for some stuff, they can't afford to go. And all of a sudden something shows up like, oh, hey, we got that. A lot of times you just don't know about it.
Absolutely. That's that bonus dad deal.
Yeah,
I have
bonus
no
dad.
problem giving money in that direction and helping anybody.
Kids that are in the foster system that are wanting to go to the SEAL teams.
Mm-hmm.
You like Joey Hahn.
Yeah.
He was Texas boy
Uh-huh.
in the foster system. Wanted to go to college, and family. He said this on our podcast, so I can repeat it. His family, or the family he was staying with, just wanted him to stay there and help on their. I don't remember if it was a farm or what, but they didn't want him going off to college just yet, and didn't help him at all. Did not take him to the SATs. He had to have a ride to go to take his SAT. They were not assisting him at all in achieving his next chapter of life. He ended up doing it anyway, but think about if he would have had a bonus dad that he didn't live with them, but he could text and say, look, I want to go to college. I want to go to the military. I just don't have the resources to get there, or to make that next step happen.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
That's what SEAL teams are, one big orphanage.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we had a SEAL orphanage? Like send kids there, like, hey, where's that place at,
I'd
man?
like to run that.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like out in the middle of nowhere. Like a Hogwarts. Call it Frogwarts. Like, hey, man, if you want to go SF, you freaking bust it up, send his ass out there, man.
Did you just come up with that?
You know what I'm talking about? Like, why doesn't that exist?
That's genius.
That's great.
That's genius.
Yeah.
But no,
Frog Frogwarts.
Call it Frogwarts, man.
And then identifying in greater detail that, in order for a kid to get that, they want, this generation is got to have it right now. Get them mentally straight as to this is how it's going to layer and work. Thing is you got to understand that with that generational understanding at this point in time, you have to show progress more frequently than maybe in days gone by, just to deal with them. I think the world's changing in that aspect from a coach's perspective, for the better.
Yeah, we're definitely
but
changing.
just identifying in great detail what those things are. And then another thing I was talking to Robin King about, I really love, I think Gage was all about fitness and getting into that world and being one of those frogman type kind of guys. And, the Warrior Fitness program that,
Oh, and there's fire and ice frogs right now too.
Has a bunch of stuff, man. Just need to draw it together.
Fire and Ice Frogs is a team guy that started a fitness and wellness program where they do saunas and cold plunge at retired. I think it's retired special forces people's houses.
Like Miss King, she runs the empire. I mean,
Yeah.
she's the king.
Yes,
she does. She's the queen, King's name. But there's so many little things that are out there now that.
So did you, Kevin Mangini? So he runs that out in San Diego side. It's Virginia High Performance through these guys, but I'd be great. And having done biomechanics for so many years, I worked for a PhD, foremost authority on the planet, in helping train these kids. Sat on a bucket for 7 years, watching ankles, eyes, hips, feet, toes, ankles.
Yeah,
I can tell a kid's hurt before the kid knows they're hurt. And the idea is to prevent them from having injury, especially these girls who are pitching. Want them to be able to pick up their own kid one day. And torn rotator cuff and labrums and lower back problems and blown stride legs aren't good. So being mechanically sound in that was the thing we focused on. It's the only thing I knew. And I was telling him like that yesterday, I said, it's kind of unique. Every kid I've ever coached, I've got to college on a scholarship. And I've never lost one to injury that started with me. Not one. Even through a 5-year COVID program that got master's degrees on them. Did therapy, return to throwing programs for a lot who didn't employ that beforehand, but then they did, and they stayed mechanically sound and healthy. They were able to pick up their kiddos. So that was super important. So you can see the mesh of taking care of youth, because you know what? At my age, they're going to be the ones taking care of me in a couple of years.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be.
I'll think about that too.
Yeah.
Like we got to get these suckers right.
Yeah. At least me. Right. But focusing on that and that program out there, it'd be something we'd like to participate in. But Kevin and I met, and there's a piece missing in there. When you get ready to leave, you're ready to leave. Is your family ready for you to come back? I mean, I don't have a choice, but how do we make that transition?
No, I understand.
And Kevin pointed out to me, I thought, if it starts with a coloring book and a Happy Meal, we've done something. So maybe that's something we can put our foot in from Gage's angle to assist that program. Still got a lot of talking, got a lot of things going on, but
your wheels are turning.
Yeah, every day. That's where that 4-hour sleep comes in. But what I was going to tell you is some of the things that we were able to achieve the last 15 months working with Ben Baumgartner and Tan Parker, Senator Hancock, Veterans Board in Austin. They were talking about you. You were just down there, but I was there a little over a month ago, and we HCR 46 was presented by Ben to the Veteran Affairs Subcommittee, Senate Subcommittee, and Ben presented. I was able to testify, and they voted immediately to move that resolution to the Senate floor for vote to make January 12th for the next decade Nathan Gage Ingram Day. So
Congratulations.
That secured.
Very cool.
And in addition to that, a recommendation was made and a nomination was made for Gage to receive the Texas Legislative Medal of Honor.
I was going to ask you about that.
I was just in Austin with
that'd be a huge deal.
It's done.
I didn't realize.
It's Texas boys, man. That's bigger than the other one.
That's what I was telling everybody. I said
that's a straight up thing, man. I was like, I got another Medal of Honor boys running around here, man. I was like, if somebody creeps in with that Texas Medal of Honor, big deal.
I didn't know there was a Texas.
Sure is. No one has it. It's damn near impossible to get.
I'd never heard it before, and I said, "Oh, you will."
Man, it's you just
buckle up, Buttercup.
That's the reason you don't see it around.
Because they're going to do a big thing. It's someone Gage when it gets completed and Abbott's going to present it. They're going to have a big.
Thank God, finally got one out of there, and then it's sealed too. That's good stuff, man.
They're going to have a big pachanga in Austin, and they're going to bring in. From what I understand, I don't want to talk too far in advance, but because we have the Congressional Medal of Honor Museum up in Arlington, beautiful place,
brand new,
beautiful place that they want to bring anybody who'd won a Congressional Medal of Honor from Texas is now going to get the. Turns out that they get the Texas Legislative.
Very cool.
They work their way up.
Well, good job on our
love that.
legislature. They're doing great things,
Congratulations.
man.
So we got that, and
They're
that's
squared away.
again getting Gage that awareness and how to make Gage famous. And they
I'll do it.
nailed that down, please,
That one.
brother. Nailed that down last Tuesday, and
Good job.
finally take a break. So
Let us know when they're going to do the signing of that. Because
Yeah, man.
absolutely,
if
please.
we're around, we'll go help bring some presents to it.
Well, absolutely. I would appreciate any notoriety, any discussion about Gage anytime in the world. Just,
That's so cool.
But that's it in a nutshell. I have a bunch of stuff I probably wrote down in notes that I'm forgetting. I sent to Hunter, and I just
Well, we can add it to the YouTube on that. What's the website? How can people go
Website?
on?
is www.nathangageingram.org.
Okay.
And I know that's a lot, but if you go to .com, because we had a printing mistake on some T-shirts, it's also at .com also.
Okay.
So
Yeah, how'd you get that typo?
that will that will take you to the webpage. It'll give you a brief story about Gage, and again, I promise folks it'll be way better, more cooler, if that's a word, down the road as we get through more of these awards and some of the things we're working on. Gage also, I don't know how I missed this part, back in April, year to the date of Gage's ceremony at Fort Rosecrans, Gage was awarded the Navy Marine Corps Medal at Coronado. And that's quite the honor.
Yeah, the big ones take some time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're not done yet, though.
Yeah.
Not done yet. I got the rest of my life, and I need more to work on. And
And you said Jules doing all right?
She's strong.
she's strong.
She's strong.
She's 5'0", but she's 5'0", but
That don't matter.
she's a strong little girl. She is super proud of her.
Yeah.
She's
Gotta
She's
get-
part of the widows now.
Uh-huh.
And them ladies are very strong.
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, he's never going to be forgotten. He's in, and no matter what awards, nothing matters more than a dad's love. And you have that, and you have that passion, and he'll never be forgotten.
Absolutely. not.
So,
Yeah, God
Thank
bless you,
you.
man.
yeah.
Thank you.
Y'all too.
What if you were to say something on how you want him to be remembered? What would you say?
Man, that's a good question.
This is that deep talk. Let's get way in there.
I would say two answers. Obviously, a hero, which is probably the typical answer for that, but it's just crazy for me because when I think back to that time that we were watching Lone Survivor, and I never thought any of this would actually happen, and you hear about the details of the mission and all that, and it's like, man, that's my buddy that I was playing soccer against when we were 5, and he's a pretty big deal now, and gave his life for his country and his brother, and that's there's no greater love than to lay down one's life for his friend, right? So pretty spectacular deal.
15-13.
That's right, sir. Yes, sir. But yeah, the second answer would be just he's a goofball. A lot of people, a lot of those guys are goofballs. At least the guys Gage is buddies with. So yeah, he and that's what we talked about at some of his ceremonies, was that the common theme was that people always remembered him laughing, and he never thought he was better than anybody else. He always treated people with love and respect, and he was just such a nice dude. So I'm certainly a proud brother. for sure.
More to come on that guy, because that's the side. It's the side that's not totally apparent yet. If I do my job right, you're going to get to meet Gage in real time.
No,
So that's our goal.
that's awesome.
Yeah, well, thank y'all for coming on,
Thank you
man.
for coming
Thank you so much
on
for
and
having
sharing
us.
about him.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hunter, thank you, sir.
This is the Team Never Quit podcast. So buckle up, Buttercup.